In this video, I'm going to show you one simple refit that will help you cut your damage in half if you're using the free Kixeye fleet. Hey everyone, Derpy here, and welcome back to another Battle Pirates video. As always, if this video does help you, make sure you go ahead and share it to someone else in your alliance. A lot of the people who are just using this free fleet might not be watching these videos unless you share it with them, and then you will be helping them. But what I want to do is show you a really quick refit that you can do overnight or with a one-day token that can take your evade from the 60% up to at least 80%, cutting your damage from taking 40 to 20, which is cutting your evade-based damage in at least half. Now, how this works is your flagship, your Wrathful Rampage flagship, has more base armor points, 42 million once you put the things on, than your other ships, which have like 38 million or something like that. This means that all of the enemy incoming damage that is from Kingkiller is going to target your Wrathful Rampage, target your flagship, and do all the damage to that one before it starts hitting your other ships. And there are actually a few ways around this. You could only repair ship number 2 and refit that one to be really high evade, and that will give you the advantage of using a Rampage token instead of a generic token. Play around with that idea if you like, but I prefer running with fleets at full health. So what I'm going to do is actually just go in here and give you some options. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you take the evade special that Kixeye gave you, and you're going to have to remove that. Unfortunately, this is going to mess around with your combat speed, but I have a solution. Your combat speed needs to be equal to 100 to match combat with the rest of the ships in the fleet, which I don't want to make changes to. Right now it's 12 too low, so what you're going to do is you're going to go and put on the D35S cannons, which are the shortest build time for the fleets out here that for the evade or the combat speed boosting weapons. You want to make sure you put those on there, and that's going to help out a lot because now you're at the same combat speed, you can run stacked and everything else like that. It's also important to consider putting on a weapon with range of 90 if you're going to mess around with your ballistic range special, because you want to make sure you're at the same combat speed. If you are just doing an overnight refit though, you don't quite need to do that. Just take one of your 2 damage specials, it doesn't really matter where because your ship's not really doing much damage anymore, and replace that with a different evade boosting special like evade upgrade, and that should help. So right now, if I take a look and put on the evade upgrade, I have given you an 8-hour refit that will bring your evade up to 77%. You can throw on another evade upgrade, and that will bring your evade all the way up to, let's see how much, over 80% with this, just the build I've shown you so far. This build would cut your damage down in half and would take you 13 hours, which I would definitely do right now, overnight, and get this done. You don't have to spend any coin, any tokens whatsoever on this one. And if you do this and give me a try and let me know how it works out. But it gets even better than that. If you want to go ahead and replace a few more things, you can replace the red line switch right here. This is just projectile speed, shouldn't really matter to anything. That's up to a 17-hour build time though, so it is starting to get a little bit higher into more thinking, hey, I think I might want to use a one-day token for this. If you replace the cannon system, that's totally fine. Just make sure that if you're planning to auto, you need to actually take one of these weapons and put on a weapon with a range of 90. I like the one that I'm using on my main ship, which is a D mortar right here, the Siege Mortar D85D, or really anything else with a range of 90 will work great. Put that on there and will no longer have to worry about your range not making sense or something else. There's probably other stuff with a range of 90 you could use as well, but that's just my suggestion there. What this does is this build, the second one that's more advanced that you want to use a one-day token on, brings your evade up to 87%, which is way better than an initial 60% I showed you. And if you do more than just that 13-hour refit, you are now taking way less than half the damage in this target, which I think is a pretty good deal. So remember, if this did help you, go ahead and share it with someone in your alliance or someone in your sector, and I'll see you next time with more tips like this, and go ahead and check out the videos I've done earlier this raid as well. I want to give a huge thank you to the channel members whose names appear on the end screen now. They're helping keep the channel running and are why I can provide things like the build stock. If you find that doc or these videos helpful and want to support, you can click the join button on YouTube. As always, and until next time, this is Derpy signing out, helping you be a better pirate.